Here we go then, the final, and it's a clash between Clayton and Clemens. The ferret through to his first final of the year. Gabriel Clemens, the German giant, through to his second. One of them will pick up their first title of the year. Clemens could win his first PDC title here this afternoon and become the second German player to do so. But Jonny Clayton is a man who's picked up titles in each of the last couple of years and has forced his way through the field, including knocking out the number one CD in white quite convincingly in the semi-finals. Dan Dawson was commentating on that one, and he joins me to commentate on today's decider.
Yeah, Gabriel Clemens has been knocking on the door for a while. He is obviously a very talented player, but he is starting to have those days quite consistently where you think
25.
He could win this title, and he perhaps should have beaten Gary Anderson
25.
when he first made a PDC final last year. But it was another Welshman who did for him earlier this year, the Welsh number one, Gerwyn Price. Now he gets a crack at the Welsh number two, and our camera's going to have to do some
25.
work, moving between the ferret and the German giant.
First job to
25.
settle up who will throw first in the final. Here is the bull, the way they always go before these matches, before any matches
25.
usually happened in the practice room. But it's been
25.
first to 6 up until the semi-finals, and then both players had convincing wins in the semis. Clemens coming up against Titus Kanik, who'd never even made it to the last 16 before his brilliant
25.
run today. His experience showed in that one. The question is, will Clayton's experience perhaps show in this?
Jonny to throw
He's
first.
won the bull battle and will throw first, and it's game on. We will have a new winner on the 2019 Roll of Honour at least, but will we have a new winner of a PDC title in Gabriel Clemens today?
100.
Well, they've had the battles and scraps to get to this stage, certainly. Two last leg deciders for Gabriel.
140.
Jan Decker and Joe Cullen pushing him to an 11th leg. And the Mervyn King game, we had that on the other streaming board. It was incredible. Mervyn was averaging 108 for most of that game, and one little breaker throw in the crucial 9th leg proved to be the killer blow. Gabriel averaged 103.5 in that game. That's his best performance of the day.
134.
It has been a strange old day. All the top players seem to tumble out of the tournament early on.
125.
James Wade, the winner yesterday, beaten in round 1. Peter Wright for the second consecutive day, going out in the first round. Rob Cross leaving the tournament before it even started.
57.
Yeah, Mensur Sulevic, another one who went out in round 1 both days this weekend.
Clemens has left himself a finish.
60.
He will have to go for it. Another one in there. Now the bull.
145.
So the German giant threatening the ferret's throw. But now Clayton looks at tops,
Game shot.
and that's the way to hit back. 116 out to take the first leg.
Not bad start to this, is it? Bull miss for a 170 and a 12 dart break, and then 116 check out
60.
to hold in 15.
Yeah, just tell us a few of the highlights of the day, Dan, because a bull miss on the 170 is something that hasn't escaped my attention in one of the matches you had on your stream.
That was the Barney
60.
Bunting game. Barney and Bunting historically always produce incredible games. Usually they're incredible and high quality.
Best of the best.
Yeah. But this was incredible and, to be honest, appalling quality for the first 6 legs or so. And then Bunting came roaring back from 4-0 down, got a dart at the ball, well, got 170 to win the
100.
game, went 60, his other dart, his second dart is hanging in the board, and he decides to wander off, go and have a drink, a little stroll around before coming back and narrowly missing the bull. It was ridiculous, and then Barney went out on
60.
60.
Not the first time that Bunting has turned on the waterworks with Raymond van Barneveld. But Jonny Clayton doing a
180.
fine job here in the early exchanges. This pair have met in 3 previous ranking matches, and Clayton has won a lot of them.
Yeah, convincingly
57.
on the stage, hasn't he? 2 Euro Tour wins. But it was closer when they met in one of these floor tournaments.
97.
However, 3 wins out of 3 for the Ferret. And he's world number 14, Jonny Clayton. Van Gerwen rates him. Van Gerwen really thinks that he is one of the most dangerous players around.
Well, he's one of the players that has shown he can beat the world number 1.
Game shot.
Taking a 2-0 lead in this final. Yeah, beat him at the Grand Slam, didn't it, in the group stage?
And had another good go at him in the quarter-final stages. And it's quarter-finals with Van Gerwen, where Jonny Clayton, one of them, is going to go and average 110. Because that's happened the last 3 times they've played each other in quarter-finals on the Pro Tour.
Was MVG that beat Clayton at the Players' Championship finals. It's one of 4 finals in the PDC that Jonny Clayton had played in before this
140.
one. He's won half of them. It's a decent return.
Yeah, Gabriel looking to win his first at a 3rd attempt.
140.
But Jonny Clayton really does look in the mood.
He's on the charge. You mentioned his ranking. He's on the charge towards the top 10, surely. If he carries on
60.
This level of results, the kind of results he's been getting, I'm not going to say the level of consistency because that's not Jonny Clayton's forte, is it? But he manages to spring up
177
in the tournaments and have these deep runs to the quarters, semis very, very often. And the first half of this year, he's not got that much to defend.
134.
Well, come pick that up in a moment. Go for the ball, Jonny. Whitlock tried that earlier. Ball for a 10 darter.
When you said tried it, I assume he wasn't successful in his attempt.
Didn't.
34.
Well, Clemens could have a dart at the ball for a 12 darter. 57 next. And he does get that opportunity.
120.
Well, Jonny Clayton will be quite happy if Gabriel Clemens is limited in this final to only shots at the bullseye at the end of 167s and 170s, because that's all he's getting at the minute. He is getting close to them, but that's all he's getting.
But this is a very, very high quality final so far. Jonny Clayton averaging 105 after winning the first 3 legs.
43.
Clemens over a ton as well, although he won't be after that visit.
Well, the thing with Jonny Clayton that you've got to remember as well, he's world number 14 at the minute.
85.
And yes, he's still sitting on a run to the final of the Players' Championship finals, which will come off his ranking at the end of this year. But he's not done anything
96.
really at the World Championship, at the World Match Play. He's only made the 2nd round of the European Championship. Like, there were an awful lot of opportunities in big TV tournaments. The World Grand Prix he's only done 1st round. He's going to be going to these tournaments with nothing to defend from 2 years ago, and with a real chance of going on and making quarters, semis, finals, winning them. He's that good.
Well, look, we've seen him get to the final at the Players' Championship finals, and you mentioned his match against Ian White, who has had this run of hitting a brick wall in quarter-finals. But White, he's a consistent player and has a certain level that he doesn't seem to go above, and he doesn't go very
94.
far below it either. Clayton can turn up and put in the 110s, can't he? And if he can do that on a big stage, could win a very, very big title.
I see no reason why Jonny Clayton cannot
41.
replicate the stuff he does on the floor and the Euro Tour. Of course, he's done it on the Euro Tour. He's made a final and won there against Gerwin Price.
Yeah, that's when he won the green jacket, wasn't it? And
yeah.
Just imagine Gabriel Clemens had won
80.
that title, for example. Did they have spares?
They did have different ones.
It was a good fit for Jonny Clayton.
81.
And Gabriel Clemens needs to find a good fit pretty soon in this match. Double 16 would do very nicely. And there it is to get himself into the contest.
Oh, 120.
Well, hit a flight, hit the wire, then hit the floor. It would have been, had it stuck in, a 22nd 180 of the day. He's been hitting a lot of them today. Gabriel Clemens has had 21 himself. By the end of this final, these two could have hit 50 maximums over the course of the day, which is some going.
58.
This is one. Of course it is, Gabriel Clemens. Does have that sort of knack, Gabriel Clemens, in a sort of Simon Whitlock kind of way, that he's very good at grouping
46.
his darts together. Not quite as tightly as Whitlock. I've never seen anybody do it as tightly as him when he's playing well. But those sort of slender pointed darts, he's very good at cramming them all in the same bed.
45.
Well, that's now 22 apiece, and the next player on the maximum tally is Mervyn King on 17, so it just goes to show how far in front this pair are.
99.
The semi-finalists, Ian White had 14 and Titus Canick 10.
I mean, Titus Canick having that run to the semis is massive. Aaron Monk, who'd been playing good darts for a while, but has now backed it up with a real good run at the tournament and was not very far away from going further. Took something special to stop him.
Treble 17 for the bull, for something special here.
73.
And not for the first time, the bullseye is missed by a distance by Clemens, and Clayton looking for a 4-1 lead, and that's exactly what he's got.
Well, the pattern is here. Clemens is not that far behind Clayton in each leg, but if he only gets a dart at the bull, it doesn't go. If it goes
100.
to the outer ring, he's alright. But Clayton is limiting him to just those shots at bullseye.
So what, Gabriel Clemens is not doing any harm to his chances
60.
of at some point joining Max Hopp in the World Cup of Darts, but how strong is that Welsh pair looking, the way they're both playing this year?
134.
Suddenly, that Polish team looks decent. The Spanish are playing some good darts. Cristo Reyes is coming back into form. The Philippines are going to be back in the tournament.
180.
And we've seen what Lawrence Ilagan can do. And Noel Malik Dem. Oh, proper game of darts this now, isn't it?
Well, they're closing in on that bullseye of maximums between them.
121.
Is it going to be another dart at the bullseye? And this time, well, he's got two at double 18 instead. 11 darter.
Well, Gabriel Clemens averaging 101, Jonny Clayton 103, and you could see Clayton there when he nearly made it 3 consecutive maximums in that
84.
leg between the pair of them. There's a smile on his face, he's enjoying this. It's a good rhythm to the game, they've both been playing well today. They come into it after convincing wins in the semi-finals. And Clayton, look, he won a title last year, he won a title the year before.
57.
And in both instances, he's had 2 finals each year. So 2 last year, 2 the year before. And they were very close together. And so it suggests that if Jonny Clayton,
98.
and he has been threatening this year already, if he's in form, he can stay in form for a while. And if he does go and, you know, whether he wins this title or not, you better
100.
look out for him next weekend here in Barnsley and on the European tours coming up.
Yeah, busy time in darts. It's a good time to be in form, that's for sure. A couple of European tours coming up, a couple more Pro Tour
140.
double headers coming up. Clayton had already reached 2 semi-finals on the Players' Championship Tour this year before finally converting one into this final.
180.
There's another. Third for Clayton.
Bullseye again. He can't keep missing it,
98.
can he?
And he can't even get on the green, Dan. Keeps finding himself in the rough.
$60.
That's just about the first time that Jonny Clayton's let him off.
Double 12. There we go. And the outer ring, once again, for Gabriel Clemens, helps him out. It is 4-3 in this game. But Gabriel Clemens, 3 of the legs he's lost, he's had a dart at bullseye at the end of a checkout. If the bull had been working, he could be absolutely coasting this final.
60.
Despite the fact that Jonny Clayton's averaging 102.
Really is a high quality contest, and contrasted with the semi-final,
100.
certainly the one that Clemens was involved in. He really has gone with Jonny Clayton, upped his game as and when he's needed to.
180.
Oh, this is quality. Look, pay attention. If you haven't been seeing much of Gabriel Clemens, if you don't rate him, maybe you saw him at the World Championship take on John Henderson.
140.
In a really good contest. It was close. Hendo managed to get the win. But Hendo himself has perhaps been playing the best darts of his career the last 2-3 years. If you don't know much about him, if you don't rate him,
91.
change. Because the German giant, 35-year-old from Saarbrücken in Germany, is 57 in the world rankings. He is only going one way, and that is up. And he could go a long way up.
He's had a dart at this already in the match. Not going to happen this time. And it might be Jonny
55.
Clayton's turn to have a go at the bullseye. It would rub perhaps a little bit of salt into Clemens' wound.
Double 5. Oh, just didn't
125.
quite give it enough. Clemens could have made this easier.
He's got a dart at double top.
95.
Clips the wire. The ferret loves double 1, which is why he's gone for the 3. 1 above and
Game
1 in, and that's why it's his favourite double 1, Jonny Clayton.
And double 2 is his least favourite.
Yeah, it's a strange combination. I like sandwiches, but I don't like bread.
36.
Oh, it's the worst scoring visit we've seen in this final. You let him off that, because it has been spellbinding stuff. And look, there's
100.
still some way to go in this. We've seen the German giant miss a dart for a third leg on the spin that would have levelled this up at 4-all. This is not
4 to
done
1.
and dusted. Other players might have crumbled. Players who have not won titles before, they might have gone 4-1 down here. The bloke's averaging over a ton. I'm going to struggle here. And the head has
134.
dropped in that situation. Not Gabriel Clemens. He's come back fighting.
Clemens is a man who changed his nickname. Was known as Gaga last year, wasn't he? But my favourite
140.
aspect of Jonny Clayton's career is that just before the Austrian Darts Open last year, he was telling everyone, I need to get rid of this ferret nickname, I really don't like it, and then went and won the title and just accepted that he's stuck with it for the rest of his career.
Well, ITV
95.
tried to do like a poll to change it, and then he told, nah, you're right, I'll stick with ferret, thanks.
So everyone spoiled their ballot by just writing ferrets.
That's exactly,
100.
yeah.
Well, Clemens here is in with a shout of breaking the throw. More than a shout,
140.
as that is a perfect setup shot.
$130.
One flaw in Jonny Clayton's game is his counting, and he admits that.
Game shot.
It doesn't matter in the end, and look, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. He'd come back with 2 darts at tops, but he's tried to hit treble 10 to leave double 17 there, which is obviously not what he wanted.
He's trying not to leave double 2 with a 180, but decided that the double next to it would be acceptable.
Interestingly, these two
104.
are 2 of the guys on the tour who are still working full-time jobs, pretty much. Now, I think Jonny Clayton has managed to scale back some of his hours just because he's so in demand. There is so much darts on.
140.
But he has said that the dream is to quit the job as a plasterer, working for the local authority down in Ponteberem, so he can concentrate on the darts. Gabriel Clemens is a 24-hour locksmith.
60.
Again, I think working for his local council out in Germany. And he's managed to scale back some of his hours. But again, the dream is concentrate on the darts, and they don't have to do that. Now, for these guys to be doing what they're doing,
85.
despite having, working as well, it's some going. And look at the final here; they're both averaging over 100. We've had some people
39.
will say, "Oh, you go and win these Pro Tour titles." Well, some of the big boys aren't there. Doesn't really count, does it? The performances these two have chucked in today, they could have beaten
140.
anybody with some of it. And this final is phenomenal.
Well, the 2 biggest cheerleaders of Jonny Clayton on the tour are Michael Van Gerwen and Gary Anderson, so that says a lot
140.
about what the other pros think about him. And what does he think about this? He's thinking double 8, and he
Game
takes
shot.
it out, and that is a hammer blow to Clemens.
Clench of the fist from the ferret, and it's put him back in charge of this. But it's been swinging back and forth. We've only had 4 holds of throw, I think, in this final. We've had 5 breaks.
140.
But the two key finishers are the 2 ton plus checkouts for Jonny Clayton. The one in the first leg when Clemens had missed a dart at the ball for the 170, and then a 136 to break straight back when Clemens was looking to tie up this final.
140.
You mentioned Gary Anderson being a big cheerleader of the Ferret. He knows all about Gabriel as well, because it was Gary Anderson who survived championship darts from Gabriel Clemens when they met in Gabriel's first appearance in a final, and the Flying Scotsman admitted he should have won that.
Well, it's 3 finals in under a year for Gabriel Clemens. There is some going for a man who only
60.
won his tour card at the start of 2018.
Look, you've seen Jonny Clayton develop as a player
59.
on this series of events. When he won his first one, and within a month or so he was in his first major final. You've seen him on the Euro Tour on PDC TV, and now you're seeing him
120
as one of the big boys in the game of darts, and he is really establishing himself. He's in the top 16. He's accidentally left himself that double 17, which he was purposefully trying to leave himself
82.
earlier. Does he go for it?
Well, with his opponent not on a finish, he's opted not to, because he wants double 16 for a 7-4 lead, and Jonny Clayton is now 1 leg away from winning a 3rd PDC title.
And importantly for Jonny, he is aware that he needs to win another leg, because in the semi-finals he got to 6 and thought he'd won. Went to congratulate Ian White and then realised he had to win another leg, which he duly did.
Well, you did say that counting was a problem.
134.
But you can count on Clayton to pick up a title every year, it seems.
Gabriel must be
100.
wondering what he has to do, because Gary Anderson, he got so close. Gerwyn Price was in incredible form. That was nobody was beating Gerwyn Price that day.
140.
But it is a 2-time world champion, an all-time great who has beaten him in a final. Gerwyn Price playing the best darts he has ever played in his life
55.
has beaten him, and now Jonny Clayton, particularly that 136 checkout in the 10th leg, an absolutely huge blow. And he's not letting up, because he's left himself 50 after 9. The Ferret surely is going to make it 3 PDC titles.
Can he do it in style?
84.
An act of audacity on the dartboard? Well, he decides to go for double 16. He leaves it just,
34.
but he hasn't quite finished it off just yet.
Is there more to go in this final? Clemens has posed the question, but Clayton has had the answers for everything today so far.
PDC title number 3 for the Ferrets. Jonny Clayton takes the title here at Players Championship 10, and it was a 5-star performance from the Ferret in the final. An 8-4 win against Germany's Gabriel Clemens, playing in his 3rd final in just under a year. But Clayton won a title in 2017, he won 1 in 2018, and he's added his name to the Roll of Honour in 2019. Superb stuff from the Welshman, who picks up £10,000, and he is the champion at Players Championship 10. Jonny Clayton, the winner, talking to Dan.
Talking to that one here. Come here, Ferret. Just that. No. You know how this works. Jonny Clayton, winner for a 3rd time in the PDC Tour. Special final, that.
Yeah, it was. Played a dodgy start today, but got through against Nathan Rafferty, who played really well. And I just relaxed and enjoyed it. Really good final against Gabriel, because obviously he can play. And I'm chuffed with that.
That's it. Look, he's a guy who's... Gezi beat him in a final this year. Gary Anderson beat him in a final last year. But he's got to be one of those guys who's quite a way down the rankings. A bit like you a couple of years ago, who now the top players are looking at and going, we've got a problem if he comes up against me.
Oh yeah, obviously. Hey, we all try. You know that. We all try against the best. And, that's the way you get up the rankings. And the way Gabriel plays, he ain't going to be long before he's in the top 32, top 16, whatever. Yeah, brilliant player.
Well, look, you're in the top 16. This is your 3rd title. You're picking up a title every single year, Jonny. And when you do, you've been in good form this year. A couple of semi-finals before today. This has been coming, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, listen, I'm enjoying. We play against the best. It brings the darts on, and hopefully I get a few more this year.
Well, this was your semi-final against Ian White. You'd been in a couple of semi-finals already this year. Did you just forget it was first to 7?
Yeah, well, I saw, right, listen, it only happened to me, you know, being Welsh, right, yeah, you know, it's passion, yeah, and I saw 6, and I thought, yes, get in there. And then Ian, to be fair, he just said, you got one more to go, and I thought, oh, no, and I don't want to swear on the thing, but yeah, thank God it was Ian, you know, it could have been much worse, yeah.
Well, look, this could be the start of a massive year for you, because you've been establishing yourself, you're in the top 16 in the world, and there are some big TV tournaments coming up this year where it's just free money for you, that you're going to go there with the possibility of shooting up top 10, top 6, potentially. I mean, what's the aim this year?
Well, obviously, I'd love to get into the top 10, you know, and anything more would be a plus, yeah. You know, I'm enjoying myself, and that's all that counts, you know. I try and play darts, and that's it.
With the way that you're going, though, in the, 2 semi-finals, a quarter-final, you've won here today, do you feel that a major title is within your grasp? Because some of the darts you've thrown here today, that final, for example, that's good enough to beat everything. You've been really worrying Van Gerwen, like at the Grand Slam.
Yeah, well, that's why he didn't turn up today, because he must have known that, that it might be Jonny's day. But no, I do enjoy myself. Like I say, I know I can do it. It's just keeping consistent, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to play well, obviously, not always, I want to play my best game as much as I possibly can, yeah.
Have you still got to go back to Pontyberem this evening and go back doing the plastering this week for the full-time job? Because you're still doing this, aren't you? And you're in the top 16 in the world. You've just won £10,000 today. Does there come a point where we go, I'm a darts player now and only a darts player?
Well, to be honest, yeah, I thought that 3 years back, but I'm still working. But yeah, I'm back in work tomorrow morning. And yeah, it's, I always say it's time to think ahead, but my time with the council is coming to an end, yeah.
Wow, well look, his time at his day job may be coming to an end, but I tell you what, his time at the top of darts is only just beginning. The Ferret Jonny Clayton, the winner of Players Championship 10, you'll be back next weekend, won't you, Jonny?
Yes.
Of course he will, and it is Barnsley Metrodome for Players Championship 11 and 12. The Premier League is on Thursday as well. We're in Liverpool, 4 more games there. This man might be in it next year if he carries on going the way he's going. Do you fancy it, Jonny?
I'd love to be in it, yeah.
There we go. Could see 2 Welshmen. The Welsh number 2, the Welsh number 1, Gabriel Price in the hunt as well. We will see you next weekend on PDC TV. Jonny Clayton, the winner today.